Hello and welcome. Today we are going to tackle something that drives so many of us crazy, recurring problems. We're going to walk through a powerful, structured process that takes you from the chaos of constantly fighting fires to the calm of having things under control. It's all about mastering the problem management life cycle. But let's start with a question I bet sounds familiar. Why do some issues just never go away? You know the drill. You fix it. You think you're done. And then a week later, boom, it's back. It's totally frustrating, and it feels like you're stuck on a hamster wheel.
Well, the answer usually comes down to this. There's a huge difference between just patching up a symptom and actually solving the real underlying problem. That feeling of running in place, that's what happens when you're just firing. What we really need is a formal, structured way to get to the root of these issues and put them out for good.
And that structured process, it's called problem management. Now, look at the keywords here. This isn't just about fixing broken stuff. The main goals are to prevent problems from ever happening in the first place, eliminate those annoying recurring incidents, and minimize the damage from anything that still gets through. It's a total shift in mindset. And this isn't some vague idea, right? It's a highly structured life cycle, a step-by-step journey. We start by identifying that there is a problem. Then we log it, categorize it, investigate what's really going on, find a fix, and, this is key, we close it out properly. This is literally our roadmap from chaos to control.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We'll quickly cover the what, and then we're going to do a detailed walkthrough of every single phase of this life cycle. So first up, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. At its heart, problem management is all about making that critical switch from being a reactive firefighter to a proactive fire marshal. It's about preventing the fires before they even start. All right, let's jump into phase one, identification. This is where a problem officially begins its life. See, it has to be formally recognized, and that usually happens in one of two ways. So on one hand, you have reactive identification. This is the classic scenario. A bunch of users all report the same error message, and you realize, uh-oh, this isn't a one-off thing. But on the other hand, and this is where it gets really powerful, you have proactive identification. This is where you're analyzing trends, maybe you notice a slow increase in errors in the server logs, and you get ahead of it before it becomes a huge meltdown. That's the goal right there.
So once the problem is spotted, whether you reacted to it or you found it proactively, you can't just let it float around in someone's inbox. It has to be captured, it has to be organized. This next phase is all about making the problem official.
And here's how you make it official, the problem record. Every single problem gets its own unique ID, its own case file. This record becomes the one and only source of truth for everything that happens with this issue. No more digging through emails or chat logs to figure out what's going on.
And of course, not all problems are created equal, right? A super common way to sort them is with a simple matrix like this one. You figure out its impact, how much pain is it causing the business, and its urgency. How fast does it need to be fixed? That gives you a clear priority, like P1 for critical, so you know exactly what to work on first.
Okay, now for the fun part, the detective work. We've got our logged and prioritized problem. The whole goal of this phase is to dig past the symptoms and find out what's really going on. We are officially on the hunt for the root cause.
The main tool in our detective kit is something called root cause analysis, or RCA. It's a structured way of asking why, again and again until you can't ask it anymore. It's like seeing a puddle on the floor. You could just mop it up, or you could do RCA to find the leaky pipe that's causing it. If you don't find the pipe, you're going to be mopping up that same puddle forever.
So finding the root cause is a huge win, but now we have to actually fix it. This is the action phase. This is where we go from knowing what's wrong to actually building and deploying the solution. Now, a massive milestone in this phase is creating what's called a known error. This is basically an official announcement that says, hey everyone, we have a problem, we know its root cause, and we have a temporary workaround. This incredibly valuable info then gets stored in a known error database, which is like the organization's collective memory, so we never have to solve the same mystery twice. And the path to actually fixing it is a very structured two-pronged attack. First, you create and share a workaround. This is the Band-Aid that stops the immediate bleeding and helps your users right now. But you don't stop there. Second, you raise a formal change request to get a permanent fix built. And finally, that real solution gets developed, tested, and deployed to kill the problem for good. Okay, the permanent fix is out. The problem is solved, right? Well, Not quite. This last phase is so important, but it's honestly the one that gets skipped the most. You have to formally close the loop.
So get this. A problem isn't truly closed until you've checked off a few final boxes. You have to circle back with the users and confirm that, yep, the fix is actually working for them. You update that original problem record with all the details, you update the known error database, and most importantly, you document what you learned, so the entire organization gets just a little bit smarter. And when you put it all together, what you're really looking at is an incredible engine for improvement. This structured lifecycle takes what feels like a random, chaotic series of fires and turns each one into a clear opportunity to make your entire organization stronger, more efficient, and way more reliable. You're literally moving from chaos to control.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. Think about your world, your team, your company. What is that one recurring incident? That thing you're always fixing that needs to finally be promoted to an official problem so you can put it through this process and solve it once and for all.